Now, you're currently married.
Yes.
To a younger guy?
Yes.
Would that make you a cougar?
Maybe. I've been attracted to younger men since I was in my 20s.
Okay.
You know, so when I was in my 20s, I would date people who were barely legal.
How old is this guy?
20-something.
20-something. And you're 30-something. Mm-hmm. Now, he knows about Wayne?
Yes.
And he's cool with that?
Yeah, you know, in my current situation, I don't see Wayne as much. I've seen him, but we haven't picked up our old habits since I've been in this situation.
Okay. And you've been married for how long?
A while.
A while. Okay.
I don't want to pinpoint anything.
No.
You know, people start doing like recon on the internet. They start pulling things together. So yeah, but no, you know, this is the first time ever that, and this may be the epiphany of my entire search for whatever I've been looking for in a man. This is the first time I'm with someone who I respect, completely respect. Personally, professionally, respect. I don't respect other people. Even Wayne, I don't respect Wayne. You
don't respect Wayne?
No.
Meaning what?
You know, certain aspects of his life are not to be respected. You know, for me at this stage in my life, there's certain things I cannot respect from anyone, you know, and there's certain things I do respect, like his work ethic and, you know, but then there's certain aspects, especially personally, that I just cannot respect. When I don't have respect for you, it'll show itself in one way or another.
Okay.
My current relationship, my current situation, my current marriage, I respect this person. I love him, of course, but it's not romantic. It's deeper than that. You know, I love him like family. So there's no whimsy here. There's no whirlwind, no butterflies, none of that stuff that goes away later. It's this, I love you as a fucking person, you know, and you are my family. And for the first time, I'm supporting someone in every other way except financially. So, and for the first time, I don't want anyone else. Weird.
Not even Wayne?
Not even Wayne. So when I see Wayne, we just hang out, you know. I might have slipped one time, but earlier, like before I got married.
Okay.
But when I see him, you know, we just hang out.
Okay.
You know, and Wayne and I can do that because our relationship is multifaceted. You know, but for the first time, I just want to be where I am. You know, and if I'm not with him, I'm not with anybody.
So, any physical violence in this relationship? Like,
none.
None. So is this the first relationship you've been in?
This is the first relationship I've had where there is no abuse at all.
At all.
Because even when something isn't physically abusive, sometimes people will say things to me. Like, I've had men, my ex-husband included, and someone else come into my home and say, why do you have all of your book covers on the wall? But this would be someone who maybe had plaques on his wall at his house.
Right.
You know? Men will come in and actually basically ask me, why are you celebrating yourself? Someone asked, why do you have pictures of yourself in your house? Well, it's my house. And these are pictures of me and my friends and my family, but those are real questions that I've been asked. And that's so abusive. You know, my ex-husband had me take all the pictures of and his mother both. You know, why do you have pictures of you and your friends all over the house? It's my house. I pay all the bills here. And if I want to have photos of me and my friends, I will. So even if things weren't physically abusive, there was always some sort of mental, emotional abuse happening. And in that house, I took down all the photos. I took down every photo I had of all of me and all my friends or my book covers. I kept those things in the garage for years because I wasn't allowed to celebrate my accomplishments. I wasn't allowed to celebrate my friendships. And I was being told that my accomplishments were nothing. I was being told that nobody else would ever marry me. I was being told that nobody would ever love me. I was being told all these things. So there was all this abuse all this time. Where I am right now, there isn't any. And my second husband wasn't abusive. He was just, well, I wasn't planning on being with him anyway. That was a fluke. But there was one day when he looked at me, and he had this look in his eye, because I had been out for like 3 days or something, probably with Wayne or whatever, and which is something that had been going on before. So he knew about it beforehand, before he got married, but he had gotten to a point where he didn't like it anymore, and he put his hand on me in a way, just kind of like right here, as I was walking past him, and he had this look, and I knew that look, and he was out the door the same day. He was done. Get your shit and get out. So around that time, I stopped accepting things. So now though, there's none of that. There's only support and love and prayer and peace, and I thrive better this way.
What do you think about Charlamagne comparing, to Pimp a Butterfly and Sugar Free's influence?
I heard myself. He acting like he up in here fighting some big murder trial, and everybody's in there pointing him out and snitching. He acting like he went to jail. He acting like he just, like, the whole snitched on theme of it is just like some made up cartoon type shit. You feel me?